Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us for our final pay-per-view with the WWE before we head to Wrestlemania. Of course there will be the NXT pre-Wrestlemania show, but you know what I mean. Looking forward to having a good one here. As always, we're setting the trend with a minor band, a C-list celebrity and a 500k set. But I think we'll go all out at Mania, try and get as high up with everything as we can to get a really good show. Now compared to most other shows, we actually had a fairly strong Elimination Chamber last year, so we were probably about 8 months into the save, maybe even 9 by the time we'd done it. So we had a show rating of an 84 and 45,000, so I think this might be one we were actually going to be less than we did last year. But yeah, we did some good matches on the show. We killed the crowd down obviously because I hadn't turned that off at the point. But yeah, Cesaro defending the WWE Championship against Austin Theory and Seth Rollins. How his careers went downhill within a year, but we've got to utilise them in the best way we can. We had a main event of Braun Strowman, AJ Styles, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns facing each other for the Universal Championship, where of course Strowman won, so he could set up that match for The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And both Elimination Chamber matches were for the Intercontinental and US Championship respectively. This year the matches will be for the Universal Championship within the Chamber and for the #1 contendership for the WWE Championship to face the champion at WrestleMania. A Royal Rumble winner, Roman Reigns, has decided he will face the Universal Champion. At the moment that is The Miz, but of course The Miz needs to survive that 6-man Elimination Chamber to make sure that is the case. So without further ado, we'll jump into the show. If you want to get social, you know what to do, and if you want to buy the game or see the best content around, check the description. Best places to go are all there. So without further ado, here we go. This is the Elimination Chamber 2022. So I've managed to get 41,000, nearly 41.5 at Citizens Bank Park. A bit disappointed their opener, obviously just the usual hype package, setting up Edge versus Randy Orton. Edge is getting one more opportunity to try and take the WWE Championship into WrestleMania. Randy remains the champion. These two will go at it and hopefully can be a very, very good matchup. Disappointing that the hype only gets an 80. You're kind of hoping this one scores an 85, 86, but hopefully there's other promos in the show that can carry the burden of the best promo of the night. Edge's performance was fantastic. Randy Orton came out of this looking excellent. Both guys improvising very well. Into the action, and we are first off greeted with Paul Heyman, who's with Brock Lesnar. And in this promo, it's basically, I've not really used Brock a lot because he's obviously part-time IRL and I try and refrain from using him too much. But WrestleMania seasons, we need to bring Lesnar in and about. So basically what I've said is Brock wants to be WWE Champion. This is his ticket to doing it. It's inside an Elimination Chamber, similar to a cage or an octagon where he's been before, and he's just going to ragdoll folk about and become the #1 contender, win the championship, get all the money, and then Brock Lesnar can go back to his farm and be dead happy. So an 83 promo from Heyman with Lesnar, and that match is actually starting the show. And it was an exceptional matchup, and it saw John Cena defeat Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Angel Garza, Brock Lesnar and Walter in a chamber match in 29-11. The order of elimination was first Walter, then Lesnar, Andrade, Drew McIntyre, and then finally Angel Garza. So an 80 rating. Reason for that is we had to keep a few people strong to put Cena over, but Cena is going to be challenging for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Some things never change. Disappointingly, him and Walter were both off their game. We can see the performances there, Andrade and Drew McIntyre with some exceptional ones. I'd even say Garza with that 88 as well. You can see by our road agent note we had to keep Andrade strong, we had to keep Drew strong. It didn't matter who we had as the final person, that changed it here. So what I'd basically planned, although it's different on text here, Cena pins Lesnar as the final two, but Lesnar had already defeated Andrade. Andrade get a wee bit annoyed by that, he distracts Lesnar, and that allows John Cena to pick up the win, setting up Andrade versus Lesnar at WrestleMania. So 80 for that, pretty happy with that. We then moved along to the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Of course, the feud we've had between 3 of the 4 Horsewomen, minus Charlotte, and of course the four horsewomen of MMA, because obviously they're quite pally with Shayna. We've got her kicking about. Terrible matchup saw the team of Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir defeat Sasha Banks and Bayley in 12-14 when Marina Shafir pinned Bayley. Duke and Shafir become your new women's tag team champions. I don't think Bayley and Sasha need them anymore, and we'll try to elevate Duke and Shafir to get to everyone else's level, so a good victory for them. Yeah, it's hopefully going to build to a really good feud in the future. Bayley was off her game, but they've adapted to life in the main roster pretty well. Of course, the product they've been used to will be moving to that classic balance in 6 weeks' time. There's the full change, so hopefully they can go well there. But overall, pretty level in terms of performance. Sasha just a wee bit ahead in that regard. Moving along, after the matchup, Ronda joins them and they have a celebration. So a 67, and it's just getting them a bit of a rub being linked and associated with Ronda Rousey. We have a promo from Johnny Gargano. Now in this promo he's been in a feud with a couple of people. He was having a few matches with Aleister Black, and then he attacked Aleister Black backstage, and we've not seen Aleister since. He then had a wee bit of tangle with Bronson Reed, who's moved up from NXT after losing the NXT, or leaves NXT match up there. So yeah, he's had a bit of a feud with everybody, and he's just saying, hey, I've got problems with Aleister Black, I've got problems with Bronson Reed, I'm Johnny Gargano, I'm better than both of them, and I'm going to show that when I beat Bronson Reed tonight. So that was a 63 rated segment. That matchup was decent. Bronson Reed picks up the win over Gargano in 14-24 with a death drop driver. A very respectable 72 rating here. Obviously, we've called him up to the main roster, we're giving him a push. He was always going to take the victory here, and he's been putting in some stellar performances. He's in a 72, but where he is at the moment, I'm very, very happy with. So good work with him and Johnny Gargano. And to rub insult to injury, Aleister Black, after the matchup, decides to hit the Black Mass on Johnny Gargano and knock him out. So a 65 for that. That was a weird one in TW. I just never seem to know what to do with him. It was the same in TW 2016 as it's been in TW 2020. One day, Aleister, I'll give you the push of a lifetime. I just need to figure out what I want to do. Next up, we had the Raw Women's Championship on the line. It had good heat and decent wrestling, and with Chelsea Green defeat Becky Lynch in 1903 by pinfall, following a distraction from Ronda Rousey. Chelsea makes defence number 1 of the WWE Raw Women's Championship, a 75. So I don't want Becky or Ronda having the Women's Championship. They don't need it. It's me getting everyone else to their level. Recently, Becky had came forward with a promise. She was happy to put Chelsea over 3 times. I was going to do it clean, but I felt like you need to set something up possibly for Mania between Becky and Ronda and possibly some of the other horsewomen. I haven't decided how I'm going to go about it, but it gives Chelsea the win. Her, Robert Stone and Sonya Deville have had that kind of loose alliance with the 4 horsewomen of MMA, so it's kind of like Chelsea's filled in and had a few matches, and she's teamed with Ronda and they've had victories. But it's good that Becky's going to do that, and I'm hoping that can help get more of the women to the overness level of Becky and Ronda. So Chelsea picks up the win. She stays your Raw Women's Champion. Next up, Rhea Ripley is cut a promo backstage. Says quite interesting that Chelsea Green has won the championship, or retained the championship. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the SmackDown side of things with that championship. But she's going to make a decision as my voice decides to go. Hopefully that's it now. She makes a decision where she says she will be challenging one of the women for the championship. She'll make a decision on one of the SmackDowns coming up. Now, obviously, I don't do the videos for the Raws and SmackDowns, etc. So I will confirm. The plan is with Rhea, so you know, for WrestleMania, Chelsea Green, Rhea Ripley. Rhea's going to turn babyface to make that decision. And I just feel like moving up to Raw, getting her involved with the likes of Ronda, Becky, Shayna can only elevate Rhea Ripley to that level as well. I kind of just want to get all my best women's wrestlers on Raw, and then get all my like up and comers on SmackDown, and then prepare them for Raw. But I'm hoping, I don't want to say all the best wrestlers, and then I'm going to say Io Shirai is going to probably go to SmackDown. But I feel like Io Shirai and Asuka, if I can get them to SmackDown, can just have sick matches, can have title runs, but help elevate the talent as well. Because we obviously need them to try and gain a bit of a psychology stat as well, so working with those two I think would be spectacular. Moving on to our women's matchup for the SmackDown Women's title, I thought they had a decent reaction from the crowd. Subpar wrestling. Dakota Kai defeats Liv Morgan in 11:52 with a top rope splash. First defence of the SmackDown Women's title for Dakota Kai. Obviously Liv was champion, Dakota winning at the previous event. And yeah, just a nice simple defence. The mandatory rematch, which sometimes impose in this game, it's loosely used. And I just felt like a good opportunity there to give Dakota another victory to continue her being strong. I don't know who she's going to face at Mania. There's a few options. I might even go multi-person for this one. But yeah, good win for Dakota Kai. Next up, promo with Roman Reigns as he's about to face Jay White. Jay White again was one of those ones where he was in a promise Roman Reigns was happy to put him over. That's actually expired. So this is kind of like a blow-off match. So 79 for the promo. Roman says he wants to take the IC title back from Jay White. He's going to WrestleMania to become Universal Champion, and he wants to make it champion versus champion, and then carry 2 belts. That's the plan for Roman Reigns. So of course, an exceptional matchup. Jay White defeats Roman Reigns in 25:15 with a surprise roll-up, making the 3rd defence of the Intercontinental Championship. Disappointingly, only got a 79 considering the 83 and 88 performances. The match deserved better announcing. Is there anything else that was massively negative? Roman Reigns using a gimmick that's not suitable for a heel, so I'll need to look at that. But I was actually hoping initially about the match the promise was still in, but Roman was happy to put him over anyway, so he can still look really strong in defeat. It elevates the IC title, it elevates Jay White, so that can mean something at WrestleMania, but it means Roman will still be challenging for that Universal Championship at WrestleMania. And then the WWE Championship matchup, that was exceptional. Orton defeats Edge in 17:38 by pinfall with an RKO. Simple, effective, 3rd title defence, 79 rating for this one as well, 89 and 90. I think massive penalties here because of Edge visibly tiring towards the end, so I hope he's getting closer to retirement because I don't want to kind of continually be putting him in longer matches, and obviously he's going to be capped at like certain segment ratings once the new product comes in, so like 15 minutes is limited for what kind of score it can get. So that's going to be a massive penalty, but 79 again. It possibly could even be Cole Barrett and poor announcing, so I might need to be on the look for some more announcers that can hopefully take the brand forward in that regard. And of course, that confirms WrestleMania, Randy Orton, John Cena for the WWE Championship. Are we stuck in 2010? No, but 12 years on, the feud that effectively you could say was 2007 to 2012, possibly, constantly. These two never had a match-up one-on-one at WrestleMania. They had the triple threat, I believe, with Triple H. But it's the end of an era, effectively. And I just feel like, yeah, these two one-on-one would be spectacular. Can John Cena add one more championship to his resume to become the GOAT? I think it would put him at 17. I need to actually double check that. I think it's 17. He's won that many titles, I forgot. But the good thing is, 87 segments, so that's going to become our main promo or angle that's been rated on. We'll double check after the episode as well how Cena's title reigns are. Moving along, oh, that's disappointing. Only a 78 promo for Big E. Big E is really over in this, and he says this is his time. Big E is ready to become the Universal Champion. You know, laughing and joking aside, he's in here. He's going to prove a point, prove to the world that this is his moment. He's had chances, but he feels this is a great opportunity to capitalise. And the matchup itself was only a 77. The announcers are, not helping me here, so I think we might even see a pop loss. But we had an exceptional matchup that saw Keith Lee defeat Big E, Daniel Bryan, Braun Strowman, Karrion Kross and The Miz in a chamber match in 28-48. Strowman went first, then The Miz, then Karrion Kross, then Daniel Bryan, then Big E, meaning your new Universal Champion finally doing it. is Keith Lee. Braun Strowman was a weak link. Disappointingly again, that it's messed around how my initial plan was. I had planned it to be, because it doesn't let you set when they get eliminated, the final three to be Keith Lee, Daniel Bryan and The Miz. The Miz to be tapped out by Daniel Bryan, and then Keith Lee beats Daniel Bryan to become Universal Champion. So, a bit disappointing that two of my most over guys have gimmicks that are getting stale. So I need to sort that with Big E and Keith Lee, but the pushes they've had has been tremendous. You can see it there with the ring performance being a 94, and exceptional performances as well from Daniel Bryan and The Miz. So yeah, really happy that Keith Lee's champion, and yeah, quite a few negatives there. The announcers really haven't helped me on this particular show. After the matchup, Daniel Bryan is getting beat down by The Miz because he's caused them obviously to lose his championship. Almost as if I'm going Daniel Bryan versus The Miz at WrestleMania, which somehow I don't think we've still not had, which blows my mind because what a feud. But to end the show, Keith Lee, he's got the chamber, that's been lifted up. He's there in the ring celebrating, but Roman Reigns attacks him, beats him up all around the side of the ring. Announce table, power bomb. Believe that. That is more than likely, if psychology is right, going to be your WrestleMania main event. Universal Champion Keith Lee, Royal Rumble winner Roman Reigns. You've got that. You're looking at Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. You're looking at Rhea Ripley versus Chelsea Green. You're looking at Randy Orton versus John Cena. Andrade versus Brock Lesnar. And so much more on top of that. I cannot wait for this WrestleMania, and especially with what NXT has to offer as well. So thankfully we don't lose any popularity, didn't result in any changes. I think it was probably saved as there despite the matches not being, the main event not being too greatly received. So an 87 was the best promo and the 77 was the best match, but of course we obviously had all the boosts with the celebrities, etc., so that will boost their rating up. So happy with that being an 83. We're pretty much in a solid position. I think the only reason I'd want to keep gaining pop is just to get that bit more exposure, to try and make that 100 rated show a bit more achievable. I'm determined to get it, but I think it is going to be on an A pay-per-view where it's everything, best celebrities, best special sets and all sorts it's going to get, is it? But we'll take a wee look, we'll see what potentially John Cena can be going for. But everything seems fine there. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this on the videos, but I probably did on Twitter. Triple H was in a situation where Stephanie cheated on him with John Cena. So John Cena's dating Stephanie. Everybody hates John Cena. Well, I say everybody. Sheamus, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Vince McMahon hates John Cena, and Vince McMahon apparently hates his daughter in this because they're in a family feud, which is the first time I've seen that. And also Triple H is my user character for NXT, so yeah, that's quite interesting. But it's one of those ones where I've just basically was a bit reluctant to put Cena in the main event after that kind of thing happens, but I went, just do it, we'll go with it. So what else we got? Oz, Joshua Academy. Had a good show, perfect. That's obviously one of our developmental companies that we've got. And Linda Levesque, I wonder if she's related to Triple H or not. Nah, she's an Eve trainer, or trainee from the Eve Academy turned pro. So obviously this is the first time I've properly just let these kind of people come through, and we'll see if we can build characters on it, and you can let me know if you like it or not. So an extra year to the Evil Empress, of course, the manager of The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. 7.2 million viewers for the Elimination Chamber, and of that 2.17 were on pay-per-view. And that's true, Xavier, I've not really used them going forward. I just want to check Big E, look at that, 97 pop in some places. The man is absolutely over, except in India. And the champ, greetings from the man. Keith Lee, 95s, 96 in there, 94. Just not over in a few places, but he's going to be over where we need him to be, and that is your Universal Champion. Let's have a look at Big Match John. So how many championships is it? Title history: 3 World Heavyweight Championships, 13 WWE Championships, meaning if he beats Randy Orton at WrestleMania, he becomes the GOAT. So there's an added line to that matchup. Do I make him the GOAT, or do Vince spite him because of the situation with him and Stephanie? So just to confirm that as well, family feud with Stephanie McMahon-Lewski, yeah, hatred of John Cena. Crazy when it popped up. I think we'll see if we can get it with still Stephanie under contract. Yep. So it was interesting when it popped up. You can see there, hatred, family feud. Divorce from Triple H, dating John Cena. Scott Hall hates her as well, as does Sean Waltman. Obviously CM Punk was just obviously way ahead of the curve on that one. But that's us. That is Elimination Chamber 2020 on the books. We now have a 6-week booking time to make sure WrestleMania is nothing but a success. I'll try and get that video and the NXT video up on time. Probably as close to live recording as I've been in a long time, and I have had a wee bit of extra time at work, so if there is one Monday or Friday that an episode doesn't go up, it's just purely having the time to get to it, but it won't be long to follow. And of course after WrestleMania there's brand pay-per-views, so we'll have more shows, and that'll give me a bit more time, especially when it gets to the fall when more games are out, and I'll be obviously trying some stuff with the, hopefully anyway, the next gen consoles, which will take up a bit of time. But yeah, overall real happy how the series progressing. We're getting close to that 2-year anniversary as well. Obviously we started this in, I want to say, June of 2020. Was that the first ever show? Don't even know if this tells us. Oh, there we go, Tuesday week 1, yep, so a couple of months away for that. But yeah, looking forward to that 2-year anniversary, and yeah, I think we could probably get to quite a ridiculous year in this. You can see their product changes in 42 days. So as always, thanks for tuning in, it's much appreciated. Yeah, take it easy, let me know what you think some of the main matches will deliver for WrestleMania, what kind of results you think we'll see, and yeah, I'll see you for the next episode, which is NXT TakeOver WrestleMania weekend. Bye bye.